and welcome to Pastor's Toolbox on YouTube and Reverend Prophet Kumar Emmanuel on Facebook. Today I'm going to talk to you about some of the things you have to do at the early stage of your ministry. The early stage of your ministry in this context refers to the very day you discover you have the call of God. The very day you discover God has given you an assignment, that you are a pastor, you are a man of God, you are an apostle, you are a prophet. The very day you discover your calling is actually the beginning of your ministry. You can have a ministry without a church. Yes. So ministry is not the church. Ministry is actually you doing a service. You performing your right. You responding to responsibility. That is what is referred to as ministry. Many people don't understand and they don't have knowledge about how crucial it is to never underestimate the beginning stage or the early stage of your ministry. Listen to me. What will happen to your ministry, your church, your ministry, what will happen to your ministry the next 10 years depends on how you handle things in the early stage of your ministry. The first, second, 2 to 3 years of your ministry, they are very, very, very important. If you're a man of God watching me, maybe you've never heard of this, but please, if things are not in place at the early stage, you mess up. In 2 Kings chapter 5, reading from verse 24 downwards, Elisha asked Gehazi a certain powerful and then important question that I want us to focus on. He said, is this the time to take money, or is this the time to ask for money? This simply means that as a young minister, when you discover your ministry, or as a man of God, when you realize or you discover your calling, that God is calling me into ministry, you have to understand what to use that early stage time for. That early stage time, from first year, second year, third year, all the way to the 5th year in ministry, these moments are not the time for money. These are the time for prayers, the time for fasting, the time for learning, and the time for sacrifice. It's so pathetic that today, when young ministers of the gospel come into ministry, the first thing they look for is money. Is this the time to look for money? Is this the time to look for a mansion? Is this the time to pray for a Range Rover? Stop wasting your time. The first and the early stages of your ministry, man of God, you shouldn't be dependent on money. You shouldn't be looking for money at the early stage of your ministry. Money will come. But hey, listen to me. What you do with the early stage of your ministry depends on how you are going to end. What you do with the early stage of your ministry depends on how you are going to end. So please, this is not the time for money. And hear me, if only you listen to me. Here are 3 things I want you to do at the early stage of your ministry. Number 1, listen to the elderly. Listen to the experience. Listen to fathers. Their errors, avoid them. What helped them? Make sure you accept and take into practice what has helped them. Number 2, these are the time to pay a price. Yes, if you're a man of God, you're not ready to lose anything, you will never receive anything. And this, I'll keep saying this until young ministers and men of God, some are even senior men of God, until men of God stop that kind of lifestyle. Who taught you that as a pastor, all you have to do is to just receive? No, that's a very bad doctrine and a very bad lifestyle. At the early stages of your ministry, you should be ready to give. Even if you are serving under a senior man of God, whatever that you can give, the little money you have, give. That your senior man of God is giving you 1,000 Ghana a month, it will not do anything to you. Let him know that you are looking for that which make him who he is, that he is able to give you 1,000. That's what you are looking for. You are not looking for money. And many people get angry, they leave ministries, they run away from men of God simply because they are not giving them money. I'm not saying a man of God shouldn't take care of the assistant pastor or the junior pastors, but please be wise and ask smart, else you will serve but you receive nothing. Okay, so the early stages are for learning, listening to experienced men. The second thing is for paying a price. If you should sleep outside, sleep outside. If you should sleep in the church auditorium, sleep in the church auditorium. These are the moments of sacrifice if you want your ministry to grow and end well. And the last thing I want you to do is always pray. Prayer. These are some of the things you have to do. The first, second, third, even to the 5th year of your ministry. Like I said, it's not about when you started a church. No. The first, second, 3rd, 4th, 5th year that you have discovered that I'm a pastor, God is calling me. These are the things you have to do. And remember, like Elisha said, this is not a time for money. There is time for everything. Money will come. But then at this moment, this is the right time for you to build yourself and put things together. The Lord bless you. Follow me on YouTube, Pastor's Toolbox. I will see you in my next video. Shalom.